Many people ask me how to stop their dog from pulling on the lead, the problem arising from the fact that they've been allowed to rehearse this behaviour over and over again. So if you have a puppy, it's really important that you get onto this now. The key is to using positive reinforcement training to encourage them to walk calmly by your side. Come on, Daisy, let's go. Daisy, come. Yes, good girl. And marking and rewarding the desired behaviour. Now, when they move to the end of their lead, literally stopping, Daisy, come. Yes, good girl. And then calmly having her walk beside you again. And then when she pulls to the end of the lead again, see this how quickly it can work, is literally stopping, calling her back. Daisy, good girl. And literally doing it, good girl. Over and over again, making sure you always stop every single time they move to the end of the lead. Now, this is where most owners give up in frustration, but if you are consistent and you constantly, good girl, are rewarding and reinforcing the desired behaviour and you are stopping and getting them back to you, Daisy will then soon learn that by pulling, she gets nowhere but backwards. But by walking nice and calmly by my side, she's actually going to get to her end goal, whether that be meeting her mates, going further down the street, going into the dog park, or simply going to sniff and pee at the tree. Given Daisy's size and well-rehearsed pulling, I'm using the ROG stop pull harness and multi-lead attachment, which allows me to control her from both the front and the back of the harness. It has a soft puff rope that applies gentle pressure under the legs and a padded chest plate with a front lead attachment that provides double stop pull control and allows for 2-point steering. Make sure you fit it properly and that the adjustable straps aren't rubbing or digging into your dog anywhere. Don't allow it to keep pulling tighter or correcting them sharply with the lead. It's designed to be a supporting tool only and use positive reinforcement training. That's the key to long-term success, as is practicing it under low distraction first on a quiet street before slowly introducing other dogs or people as distractions. If you are consistent with this training, your dog will learn that pulling gets them nowhere and walking calmly on a loose leash gets them to where they want to go. You can find the ROG stop pull harness and multi-lead as well as other collars and harnesses in their range at your local pet stock store.
While many pet owners know that they need to take care of their dog or cat's health with regular parasite protection, a lot still don't fully understand the risks to both pets and people. Research found that 95% of dog owners agree that parasite prevention is important for their dogs, but 41% of respondents were not aware of all 5 main parasite groups that could harm their dog, being fleas, ticks, mites, heartworm and intestinal worms. Almost a third of dog owners were also not aware that some dog parasites, including intestinal worms, can cause zoonotic disease. That is, they can be transmitted from dogs to humans. Veterinary and human infectious disease experts recommend monthly deworming of dogs to help reduce the risk of dog worms being transmitted to people. However, worryingly, in this survey, more than half of dog owners reported that they don't follow this recommendation. Roundworm and hookworms are the main culprits, where humans can become infected through ingesting material contaminated with dog's poop. For example, soil, sand or plant material, or when worm larvae penetrate the skin. Infection in humans can cause a range of potentially serious health problems, including intestinal disease and even blindness. And while it may look like the poo in your yard has disappeared or washed away over time, microscopic worm eggs and larvae may remain infectious for years in your yard if dog poop isn't cleared away. According to research, 7% of Australians have antibodies to canine roundworm. That is a whopping number of people that have been exposed to this parasite at some point in their life. Children are even more at risk, given they spend more time outside and often in bare feet, and they may not be as vigilant about washing their hands. In addition to deworming your dog monthly, check your yard daily, pick up and dispose of any dog poop, and ensure you and your family thoroughly wash their hands after any contact with contaminated soil or surfaces. It's not only intestinal worms that we need to be aware of. External parasites such as fleas and mites can infest your dog and cause illness in people too. So protect your dog from these important parasites with the NexGard Spectra Monthly Chew.
Pets of the Homeless Australia provides food, veterinary care, safe shelter and other support to pets and people experiencing homelessness. Founded by CEO Yvonne Hong, they rely not only on financial support from organisations including the Petstock Foundation, but volunteers are always needed as well. Today, some of the Petstock staff are lending a hand, including the Foundation's operation lead, Sherilee. Sherilee, why are you and the team out here today?
Look, the Foundation are a huge supporter of Pets at the Homeless, and as you can see here, one of the initiatives is their pet food bank. We're huge supporters of it, and many hands make light work, so we're here sorting, packing, and just going to help get them ready to distribute.
What are some of the other ways that staff help the charities that you support?
There are many different opportunities for our team members to be involved with our charities. Some of them are just general fundraising throughout the year. Some connect with their local rescue group, whether that's through foster or volunteer opportunities. And there's team members and board members that get involved offering services, guidance, support all the way through.
That's a lot of things that people need as well that people don't realise when it comes to volunteering. It's not just hands on deck, it's also expertise, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely. Every different charity requires something different. So we try to use our expertise within the business to offer them anything they need.
And what are some of the benefits? I mean, it's obvious that the charities benefit, but what about volunteering, for the people? What does it mean to your staff and also anyone else that's considering volunteering?
Yeah, look, there are so many great things to do when you get out to be in the community that we're in. But just simply having a great time, knowing you're doing great things for the community, leaving a lasting positive impact. There's so many beautiful health benefits to even mental health by volunteering, whether that's through reduction of stress, having a happy day, or being able to be learning about empathy.
Yes, it's really important, isn't it? You better get back packing.
Thanks.
I might need to lend a hand too.
Thank you.
Why are you here today, Bill? Look, to get out into the community, get to know people, expand my knowledge on the awesome charity that Pets of the Homeless is. It's great knowing that if I'm ever in a situation or anyone close to home needs it, it's good knowing that they're here, and just paying it forward is great.
Listening to the stories that were in the briefing this morning, it really opened my eyes and inspired me to kind of continue giving back, and we can always do more to help people and to help pets and to keep them united with them forever.
So the foundation supports us with funding, they provide us with pet food, as well as the lovely volunteers to help us pack the pet food.
Helpful.
Yeah, and their funding also allowed us to purchase a new larger vehicle to help us get all these pet food out to the community that needs them. Their funding also allows us to start new initiatives like a low-cost subsidised de-sexing called Fix a Friend, which we're really proud of. We're able to de-sex about 90 pets last year thanks to their funding.
And what does it mean to you to have their support?
It means a lot to us because it means that we can really help the people and pets who really need them.
To support Pets of the Homeless or to lend a hand, or to visit petsofthehomeless.org.au. And to learn more about the Petstock Foundation, visit their website. Clearly, volunteering can be a rewarding experience, benefiting not only you, but also the charities that you're helping. If you'd like to volunteer your time to some of them, check out the Go Volunteer website as well. All right, I'm almost done. Who wants to tape it for me?
Microchipping dogs and cats is compulsory across most of Australia. But even so, we see a lot of lost pets with out-of-date contact details. This means they end up in the pound or shelter completely unidentifiable, some never making it home. You'd also be surprised how many dogs and cats are still registered to the breeder because the owner didn't lodge the relevant paperwork with an animal registry when they got their pet. This can make it extremely difficult to get your pet released to you if it's in a shelter. Even if you've registered your pet with a local council, if your details aren't with the microchip registry, they can't be released to you until the listed owner has been contacted and the details are changed on the database. So if your breeder is no longer contactable, you have a big problem. This can result in pets spending unnecessary time away from you, which is distressing for everyone involved. When it comes to cats, the large majority are still not microchipped, which is why so many end up needing to be rehomed or worse, euthanased. Similar to vaccinations, the microchip, which is the size of a grain of rice, is inserted with a needle in between the shoulder blades. Most pets don't even blink an eye when it's done because it's so quick. Each chip has a unique number that can be detected using a microchip scanner, and it's recorded on a registry with your details. The most widely used is Central Animal Records, but there are other state-specific ones that you can find on Google or the Pooches at Play website. It's around $60 to microchip your pet with a pet stock vet. Vets, animal shelters and local councils can simply scan a lost pet and look it up, which is why if you find a lost pet, you should take it straight to a local vet or shelter. ID tags are also great, but they're not enough on their own. They can fall off or wear out with time. So pop into your local pet stock store to get a good quality and long-lasting ID tag. To get your pet microchipped or check their details are up to date, visit your local pet stock vet. Don't wait until it's too late.
As a Petstock Rewards member, if you purchase any participating brand of flea, tick and worming treatment, including NexGard Spectra, they'll give you 15% brand cashback to use the next time you shop for the same brand, even if it's on promotion. T's and C's apply. Visit the website for details. The Big Dog Pet Foods recipes are based on the natural evolutionary raw diet that wolves and dogs in the wild would be eating. So to learn more about our modern-day dogs' ancestors, I visited Wolf Connection in California, thanks to Big Dog.
Ree, tell us what you do out here at Wolf Connection.
Well, we are a wolf sanctuary. We rescue wolves and wolf dogs, and they live out the rest of their lives here. But our primary mission is human empowerment. We do wolf therapy with youth from foster care, youth from expulsion schools, veterans, really anyone who's at risk to not living to their fullest potential.
And a lot of people might not understand, well, it seems kind of clear, but just tell us a little bit about what a wolf dog is and how they end up here.
Yeah, so, well, it's part wolf and part dog. They end up here from human ownership. Backyard breeders, which they're illegal to own in California, hoarder facilities, we've gotten a few from there, and then fur farms. Primarily it's humans trying to own a piece of the wild.
That's right. So being rescue animals, what are some of the things that you see?
Well, it's all varying, you know, from their situation. Trauma, abuse, and even neglect.
Yes.
We had a few come very underweight. And then we have some with physical issues that we have to rehabilitate, getting them used to being around humans.
Yes, of course.
You know, there's no pressure from us. We let them take as long as they need. We call it their own, you know, healing journey that they go on. We have a great PAC services team that does enrichment. Every week we keep track of, you know, how many hikes they go on, what do they eat, you know, how much do they get. We weigh their food and supplements.
And so they have a very special presence about them. I'm guessing you don't train them like dogs with the sit and drops and all of that. How do they interact with the people?
Well, it's more about how the people interact with them.
Right.
It takes a certain amount of time, relationship. Wolves aren't like dogs. They don't see you as their master. They see you as an equal. They still want to meet people they don't know because they're very curious.
Much like our dogs as well.
Yes.
If people want to find out and support your work or even come visit here, how do they find you and what can they do?
Go to our website.
Yes.
You can donate. You can sponsor a wolf. You'll get updates about your wolf, learn pictures, video. We also have an online academy, a wolf academy that's launching, and it's going to be global.
Wow.
Yeah, and then we have on-site programming. We do a beautiful program with those who identify female, women, and wolves. And we do events, we do private visits. So yeah, come out and meet the wolves and hang out with the pack.
Oh, lovely. I can't wait to meet some of the wolves as well and get to see them in their environment.
Yes, let's do it.
Thanks, Ree. When it comes to fashion, it can all be found right here on the famous Rodeo Drive in Beverly Hills. From Gucci to Chanel, Louis Vuitton to Burberry, you name it, if you're wanting to lead the high fashion stakes, this is where you need to be.
From Gucci to Chanel, Louis Vuitton to Burberry, you name it, it's all here for those who want to lead the way in the high fashion stakes. But when it comes to keeping your pooch both warm and fashionable, forget breaking the budget for your fashionista furry friend. Australia's top dog apparel brand DGG will leave jaws dropping and tails wagging whenever your pooch struts on by. From the classic Porberry checks to the velvety Poochie glamour, Chanel's Bow Wow shimmery shine and much more, the DGG Fashionista range is sure to have your dog leading the pack when it comes to stylish and practical outdoor and indoor wear.
Their designer-inspired ensembles are not only constructed for a first-class fit and fashionable well-being, but they're also water-resistant, padded for extra comfort, and have a polar fleece lining for those cold winter days.
Also catering for the lean, long-limbed supermodels of the dog world is the Wriggly Diggly range, designed to keep long-bodied dogs, including greyhounds, sighthounds, dachshunds and slender dogs comfortable, snug and warm. While for the outdoor adventurers, or those that just want to keep warm and aren't fussed about keeping up with the Portashians, the Rough and Rugged range has you covered. The DGG range comes in sizes from extra small to extra large and should fit your dog snugly but not too tight, and fit from the base of the neck to the top of the tail and not restrict their movement in any way.
Well, Frankie and Ziggy have certainly been turning heads on Rodeo Drive here today. Don't worry, Darcy and Vindy won't miss out on the fashion action this winter. I'm thinking a little bit of Chanel for them.
You can find the DGG Fashionista, Wriggly Diggly and Rough and Rugged apparel in pet specialty stores, including Petstock and online. Exercising a dog that is anxious, reactive or even aggressive to other dogs and people in public places can not only put them in danger, but can make behaviour worse. However, finding a safe space where they can run around or for you to work on your training together is not always easy. But now with Sniff Space, it is. So I'm catching up with Tracy, the founder, and Catherine, a host, to learn more.
Tracy, what made you decide to start Sniff Space?
Well, 6 or 7 years ago, I adopted a dog called Rafferty, and he is a beautiful dog, but he just will never understand why other people and other dogs want to talk to him.
No, that's right.
And I work on a computer and just wanted to be able to get him out of his backyard and wanted someone to give me a space I could work in. I figured that if I was having that struggle, then there was a whole bunch of other people in Australia having the same struggle.
How do people book and how do hosts offer up their properties?
Well, we've got a whole booking system online and our hosts come up and they sign up and they go through a whole process on the back end, which asks them about the fencing,
yes,
the area. We also ask some really good questions for your dog, so whether there's other dogs, animals on or around the property, so that you understand if your dog does have a specific trigger, what properties are good for them and what properties you need to stay away from.
Okay, that's great. And why do you need more hosts? Because there's a lot of demand for this, but you need more hosts, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We've got over 5,000 dogs waiting for space and we've got spaces in every state of Australia, but we definitely need more hosts. And, you know, if you host with Sniff Space, it's a great opportunity to help Aussie dogs as well as earn a great passive income.
Catherine, why did you decide to become a host?
Well, I live here. This is our home. It's a 5-acre property and you can see we have space.
Beautiful.
We have paddocks, we have horses. That's our lifestyle and I've always had a dog here. And this dog that I currently have was the most difficult puppy that I've ever had to train. So I fenced off a paddock for us to be able to train her and work on her recall. She really needed it and I needed a secure space. And then I realised that if I need this, other people might need this.
Absolutely.
So I went online, I came across Sniff Space, I came across Tracy, I called her and we had a phone call and our values and everything aligned really well and I thought, well, I'm just going to do this. I'm going to fence off a paddock and make it available and it's really been a lot of fun. We have a lot of regulars, a lot of dogs that come here, really been made very happy and owners know that their dogs are secure and safe and there's a lot of peace and comfort and security in that. And I love hosting people with their dogs here. It makes us really happy to see that interaction and relationship that people grow with their dogs.
And you've got the horses here, so for someone like me who's got Vindy working on his reactivity,
absolutely,
we can work on his desensitisation as well.
Absolutely, it's a really high distraction space. You've got a pretty busy road and of course the horses. And the horses are calm and quiet, so they're not dangerous or anything, but with all of the distractions, it's still a safe space.
Yes. And what are the benefits of being a host with Sniff Space and hiring out your place?
Well, the ease of use of the website.
of sniff space makes life really easy for me as a host. The passive income is great, and I would say to anybody that does have some extra space in the backyard or a paddock, something like this, if you could make a space available and you would consider it, I would absolutely say go for it. It's, sniff space has made it fantastic. It's really good.
While Catherine's property has horses, many don't if you're worried that your dog might react. But for me, it was a positive so that we could work on Vindy's training. So if you'd like to find a space near you or to learn more about becoming a host, head to sniffspace.com.au.
Keeping our dogs challenged and engaged through training and games is just as important when they're an older dog as it is when they're a puppy. It keeps them mentally and physically stimulated, which has a positive impact on their health and well-being by keeping those cogs turning. Plus, it's fun for both of you. However, when teaching an old dog new tricks, you need to keep a few things in mind. First, you need to make sure that your dog is physically able to perform the trick that you're asking of them. Some older dogs, like little Das, may have sore joints and some mobility issues, so don't choose tricks or activities that could cause them pain or any more injury. Tricks that require them to jump, sit for long periods or run a lot can be particularly tough on dogs with arthritis. Not that we can see it when you run. Dental issues may limit them using their mouth, like carrying objects or fetching, while vision loss and hearing issues also need to be considered. Older dogs that are anxious or noise phobic might not cope with tricks like talk buttons or fast moving and loud objects, so use slow movements, lots of encouragement, and don't ask too much of them too quickly to help avoid confusion and making any stress or anxiety worse. Second, you need to use positive reinforcement and whatever motivates your dog the most. Older dogs may be a little bit set in their ways, so it's important to make the training fun and rewarding for them as well as for you. Food is a primary reinforcer, meaning that it's something that all dogs naturally find reinforcing. They need it to survive, which is why it's used for training so often, along with treats when you want to up the ante. Of course, you can use a lot of praise as well, or you can even use toys if that's what they respond to the most. Third, you need to be really clear about what you're asking of your dog, so breaking it down into small, simple steps and marking and rewarding them every time they move a step closer towards your end goal. Finally, you need to be patient and persistent when training an older dog. It might take longer for them to learn new tricks, but with consistent practice and positive reinforcement, they can still achieve great things. Darcy's learning new tricks all the time and he loves it. And so do I. The VitaPet Pocket Trainers are small bite-sized chews, so they're great for training. Plus they're made with all natural ingredients including real chicken, sweet potato and blueberries. Visit vitapet.com.au.
Would you like to win a Pawsome prize pack worth over $2,000? One lucky person will win a year's supply of VitaPet treats, Big Dog Pet Foods, NextGuard Spectra monthly chews, a $250 Pet Stock gift voucher, $500 worth of DGG grooming and apparel, a year's subscription to Dog TV and a signed copy of both my books. Plus there's 3 consolation prizes up for grabs too. To enter, sign up to our e-news and name one of the charities featured this series. All entries will receive a free ebook too, so visit poochesatplay.com. That brings us to the end of this week's episode, but there's plenty more information and entertainment on the Pooches at Play website and social media platforms. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.